Hello everybody, weebrabbit here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see from the image on screen, we are going to be doing our tier list. This time, we're going to be doing a Mario tier list, which I'll explain in a moment. However, before all that, I say we, because I am not alone. Same as when I did the Legend of Zelda series tier list, I have Legend of Jonathan here with me. Say hello real quick, Legend of Jonathan.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, Legend Jonathan, and yeah, you heard the man. I'm back for another tier list. We doing Mario now. I'm pretty excited to get into this, and I don't know, man. I'm just excited to see what like games we put in which tier.
Exactly. Very excited. So yeah, last time we did a Legend of Zelda tier list, that one was kind of a overall look at the franchise, right? We did the mainline games, the remakes / re-releases, we did some of the spin-offs, that sort of thing. This is going to be a bit different because the Mario series is just so big that we were really trying to decide, should we do one that has like all the games? But that's probably going to take a while because there's just so many Mario games out there. So we do just like the mainline games, quote unquote, and some of like the RPGs. We're really racking our brains on how to do this. So what we decided to do is that because the Mario series is so big, for this tier list, we're going to try to stick to just the quote unquote mainline titles in the series. So none of the RPG games, none of like the Mario parties, Mario Karts, any of those. We're trying to do just the main games, and depending on how this goes, me will tackle some of those other ones in a different episode, right? And again, it's kind of a weird list. We weren't really sure what counts as a mainline title or not, so we tried to look for a tier list that seems like it kind of matched. So this is the best we could come up with. Again, it might not be perfect, but this is one that I think kind of counts because if you look at like the timeline and you look at how they were released, and it seems to be ones that, got a lot of attention and are kind of considered like main entries. So again, it's not going to be perfect, but we tried to just kind of do the best we could of finding games that we consider mainline titles, right? So kind of a weird thing, but so without further ado, as you can see, going from left to right, we start at the very beginning of the timeline all the way to Mario Wonder, which is, the newest release as of the recording of this video. And we're going to just go through same as last time, where we think it should go. If we have a disagreement, maybe we'll try to split the difference or, that sort of thing. And if we have not played it, then of course we have at the bottom have not played. So, All right, So we're going to start with the very first title that, again, it's kind of a weird one because it's not like a console release. It was an arcade release, but it is like the first game that is called, Mario Bros. And it has Mario and Luigi. So we're going to try to start there. So the first one is Mario Bros., which came out on the arcade. Where would you put that title?
An A.
You think it's an A? I think it's an A. I agree. I would say it's also an A. I don't think it's going to be at the top of the A's. I think that is going to change, as we go forward. But I would say it's an A. I think it's a pretty well done game that even now, if you go back and play it, whether it's that like original, arcade release, or if you play the, Super Mario Advance game that has that, right, bundled with Mario 2 or whatever. Yeah. I think that game is just really fun. And I think it's really well done. And I just think it's really fun that, again, you get to play as Mario and Luigi, and it's a pretty nice preview into the series and kind of gain a feel for the whole plumbing and brothers and fighting monsters and POW blocks and all that. So I agree. I'd say it's an A. I think it has some good replayability. So no arguments there. I think A is a pretty good spot for it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, next up is Mario Bros., the original, what people consider, the beginning of the series. And, that's the first game for consoles. It's the one where you get to play as Mario and Luigi. And it was, released on the, Nintendo Entertainment System or the Famicom. Where would you put this one?
A.
I agree. I think it's also an A. I was maybe saying maybe a B, but I don't see anything that would put it to a B. Like I think it's I think an A, you're right. I think that's pretty good spot, honestly, because there's not really anything wrong with it. Like, it is a bit outdated, by it's how many years since it came out. There's some obviously things that we've moved past, especially because it's like very much arcadey, as a lot of these NES titles are. But I think it's a really good game. It has so much replayability, so much stuff going on,
For sure.
a lot of power-ups and stuff. I think it's just a really good game. So I agree. I think A is a pretty good spot for it. All right, next one. We're gonna jump over to Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, or as it is known in Japan, Super Mario Bros. 2. Where would you put this one?
Like, like either a B or C.
Okay, for me, I would honestly put it at a D. Yeah, I know it might be a bit controversial, but for me, it's a D because it's literally just Mario Bros. Again.
But harder, yeah.
I've never understood, and that's why when we get to the next one, I'm so glad that we got this, even though it's like, controversial and people are like, no, that's like some, reskin, dumbed down American version, whatever. But I have no love for Mario Bros. 2 Japan / Lost Levels. I just don't get it. Like, it's literally just Mario Bros, but like harder. And like, okay, I mean, I guess it gave us the poison mushroom, which is kind of, iconic, but I just don't have any love for it. Like, it's just the same game again. Like, can you imagine if literally it's like, because I know you had said you had been playing some of, like Persona lately, or Persona 3 Reload, right?
Yeah,
like, imagine if it's like, here's Persona 3, and then it's Persona, 3 Part 2, and it was literally just that, like, this version, it's merciless difficulty, but it's considered a different title. Like, I just don't get it. I just think that's so dumb. Like, I get it because of, again, like the time, right? Like, but I just have no love for this game. So for me, it's a D. But I know for you said it's like a B or a C. Should we split the difference and maybe give it a C?
Honestly, I actually I had a gut feeling. I was just trying to be more generous with this game. I was trying not to be as hard on it. But no, yeah, I don't really have as much love for it either. I would agree it's a D. I was just trying to be nice to it because I don't, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, it's our tier list. We don't have to apologize to anybody.
I know, that's true.
But yeah, because I just have no love for this game. Like, I just don't get, like, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, I get what they were thinking because, again, it was a time when things were so arcadey, right? It was very much about, coin munchers and replayability and high score, stuff like that. But it's just such a lame game to like look at. Like, again, I know it's probably controversial, but I just don't get it. To me, it's just so lame. Like, I would just go play Mario Bros. Then. Like, I don't know. I have no love for this game.
Because at that time I was like very like, oh man, like a game has to be very competitive, even if it's like single player. And yeah, it was like about like, who's like the best of the best at playing this game, who can get like the highest score, who can like, like who's up for the challenge of like dealing with a bunch of crap on screen, And so that's what like Lost Levels was. But then the story is just like the exact same as like Mario 1. Like, there's nothing different.
Yeah, so is the gameplay. So is like the level layout, everything. The only thing that's different is like, poison mushrooms, and I think there's because of the difficulty. So there's like some stuff that's different with the obstacles, I think, you know what I mean? But it's literally almost the same game. Like, I have no love for it. There's people who love this game, that's like their favorite. More power to you, but I do not care for this game. Just if speedrun Mario Bros 2, then just get better at the original Mario Bros. Just I don't know, whatever. Moving on. You say D, I say D. We're gonna put it at D. If anyone's mad about that, too bad. Okay, and then again, continue with the controversial opinions. What would you give Super Mario Bros 2, aka Super Mario Bros, the dumbed down American version, reskin of Doki Doki Panic? What would you give it?
Like an A or an S, honestly. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, honestly, again, I give it an S. I just love, again, it might be a reskin, it might be like, it's dumbed down,
especially
it's not the official game.
Version.
But yeah, especially the advanced, exactly. But it's just so good. And it gives so many things that, like it or not, series mainstays, Birdo, Shy Guys, the pulling up
Snuffles.
then pulling up the turnips, right? That's like a whole thing, like even in Smash Bros. A lot of replayable characters, Peach being, playable for the first time. all that stuff. It's just, I think the game's really iconic, and I think it's really fun. I really like the gameplay. I like the little story. I like the enemies. I like the characters, the designs. It's one of my favorites, honestly. I know it's probably like a dark horse in the series. I really like it. So I give it an S. It seems like you would give it an S or an A. I say S tier, which again might be controversial, but it's our tier list. If you don't like it, A, whatever, right?
Yeah.
All right. What about Super Mario Bros. 3?
That one I would give an A.
I agree. I think it's an A. Out of all the ones so far, I put it at the top. What do you think about that? Top?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's top A. Not quite S for me personally. I understand it's iconic. I understand it has a lot of good stuff to it. But, for me, S also has to do a lot with replayability. Honestly, I would probably, and I guess, this might be sacrilege to a lot of people, I would probably rather play 2 than 3.
Yeah, I don't play 3 as much, and I tried beating it, but again, because they were kind of trying to aim for that whole Mario 1 and Lost Levels kind of thing, where it was supposed to be the arcade-ish, and the last bits are kind of too hard and all that stuff. I just kind of really gave up on it, and I just went straight to World, which yeah. And so I didn't really like 3 than 2 and 1, honestly. So I would just put it as an A because I feel like it's better than Bros in a sense, the first one, but it's not like an S for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. For me too. I think it's better than a lot of the stuff up here, based on its placement. I think it's really iconic. It's really cool with all the power-ups, the whole thing about exit stage right, and the whole theory about it being a play, and the aesthetic, and the music, and all this stuff, right? I think it's a really good game, but the replayability is what keeps it an A for me, not quite S, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And again, it's just our opinion, but real quick before we move on, would you have the arcade one in second place, or would you move Mario Bros up above it?
The Mario Bros, the first one.
So you'd put it here,
right there, yeah.
Okay, I just want to ask because I noticed that we try to also not only put them in the tier, but we also try to put them in the order as well.
Like a ranking of each rank, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so I just want to clarify that real quick. Okay, moving on. Super Mario Land, a game that, it's a bit more of an unknown one, surprisingly, from this series, right? Not a lot of people have really touched this one. So where would you put that one? This is kind of a bit of a weird one. What do you think about this one?
I didn't really play as much. I've only ever gotten far, the third world. And even then, again, this is one of those games that's kind of like Mario 1, where it's supposed to be difficult, and then there's no way to save or any of that weird stuff. So I would just, I haven't played it, honestly. Completed it, I would say that I haven't played it.
So for you, would say you haven't played it. I have not played it a lot either. I have played it. I don't remember if I ever beat it, honestly. I don't think I did. I think it's one of those games that, it's not really one of my favorites, not really one I get to engage it in. However, I do think it's an okay game. I do think it's fun. I think it's pretty cool. That's where we got Daisy from, right?
Yeah.
And I think the antagonist is pretty cool. The whole, alien, what's his name?
Tatanga.
And it's one of those, I wish we would get that boss again, instead of it always being Bowser. I think that's pretty cool. I think I would give it maybe, I don't know if a B or a C. What do you think? Out of what you played, if you had to give it a B or a C, what would you give it out of what you played?
I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I would honestly give it a B.
Yeah, because I think a B's fine. Because I'm thinking B or C, and I was leaning more towards B, but I was hoping you could give some input. So I'd give it a B. I think it's pretty good, and especially for being a handheld, Game Boy. A lot of these Game Boy games, they were working with very low memory, that sort of thing. But for what we got of the music and the level design and everything, the minimal colors and stuff, I think a B is pretty good. I think it's memorable enough. It's funny enough. So, yeah, I think a B is fine.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, a little bit of spoilers. One of my favorite Mario titles, Super Mario World. What would you give this one?
S. I love Super Mario World as well.
Hell yeah. For me, S instantly goes to the top of what we have right now.
Above Mario Bros. 2. Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably the Mario game that I've played maybe the most times, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It just has a lot of replayability. It's so easy to jump into. I love, all of the secrets that it has, all of, the things with the secret, levels and all that, the secret world. I don't know. It just has so much replayability, so much cool stuff, cool power-ups. The story's pretty cool. Getting to fight, all the Koopalings, and I don't know, man. I just really love this game. This is one of my favorites. I love the aesthetic, the art style, the music. I just love everything about it. Being able to, team up with Yoshi for the first time and all that. So yeah, it's S for me. It's one of my favorite games. It's one of the games I've probably replayed the most. And yeah, it just goes to the top for me so far. So
yeah, I'm telling you, that's probably like the first Mario game I played too. But
nice.
I never beat it as a kid because obviously when I first played it, I was probably like 3, and that was just kind of like to, I don't know, distract me, I guess, in a sense, But obviously, like the everything has caught in my attention, that game. Like literally booting up the game is like the most memorable thing for me. Like hearing the coin with like the little Nintendo logo.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly that.
Yeah, that's true.
So awesome.
It's one of the most memorable too. This and there's a couple, and when we get to them, we'll kind of discuss.
Yeah,
but it is one of the more memorable ones for sure too.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good. So okay, looks like we're in agreement. Top of the S rank, favorite one probably so far of all of them so far. Moving on. What about Super Mario Land 2? 6 golden coins.
Oh, the one. I've played quite a bit of it. I like this one a lot. I like the rabbit ears and the little fire. It's a feather, I think. Fire feather and all that. I would say that either it's an A or a B as well.
Okay. Yeah, I've played this one a little bit. Same as kind of like the first one. It's one of those games I just never really engaged with too much. Trying to think. I don't know if I should put at the top of the B's or bottom of the A's. Is this the one where you fight against Wario, right?
Yeah, for the first time. That was his introduction.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I think bottom of the A sounds pretty good, right?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
It's pretty memorable. I mean, it's the first time you fight Wario. It's basically like the first game, but it kind of, improves on it. Yeah, I think bottom of the A sounds pretty good, honestly. It's again, it's just kind of a shame that and obviously I'm guilty of it because I've mentioned, or we both mentioned we haven't really played these two too much. But yeah, it's kind of funny that these two are kind of unknown. They're kind of underrated, honestly.
Unfortunately, yeah.
It's kind of funny that these are ones that people didn't really touch too much. I don't know why. It just came out like at a weird time, I guess. And like the fact that they're like handhelds, I guess. And like, I don't know, kind of weird, right? But yeah, I think bottom of the A's a good spot for it, I guess. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I think most of the people who probably played it, if you were to like ask like if you've played any Game Boy games, would either be like people who are like in their 40s, like late 30s and 40s, or some young people who like only had Game Boys, but they were like behind by a few generations or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
For me personally, whenever I've played Game Boy games, I've always played like the Pokemon games or like the Donkey Kong games. It was like Donkey Kong Land and all that. So yeah, I don't know. I just never really played with these two Mario Land ones, but from what I played, I remember it being pretty good, pretty cool. I remember the thing with like Wario being pretty, good introduction to him and stuff. So okay, pretty cool. Next one that a lot of people have not played because this system didn't even sell, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us even tried this one, but it's still on here. It's still considered from what we saw kind of a mainland title because they really Nintendo was really trying to push it. Mario Clash, which is for the Virtual Boy.
Oh my god. Okay, so I had forgotten that this even existed because I knew there was a game for the Virtual Boy. I've never played it, of course. You just mentioned that.
Yeah, me neither. I've never played it either. Like I said, I don't think a lot of people have, honestly. Because
basically, from what I've seen, it's literally just like a rehash of Mario Bros. But you kick stuff like you grab the stuff and kick it, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's basically supposed to be almost like a remake, right?
Yeah, like it's like a remake, or it's supposed to be some weird sequel, I guess. Where
Yeah,
like,
but that's supposed to be special because like, oh, it's on the Virtual Boy and it's supposed to
and
be,
there's like a
3D,
2D.
quote unquote. And like, yeah, and it's not exactly the same. Obviously, it has like some difference, like you said. You kick stuff, blah blah blah. But I don't know. They were just really invested in the Virtual Boy, and it just did not work out. A lot of people did not play it. A lot of people probably still didn't even know this one existed. So surprisingly, it goes in the have not played pile. So
Yeah.
All right, next up, one that a lot of people know, a lot of people have played, a lot of people would probably consider one of their favorites. What do you think of Super Mario 64?
I give it an A.
Yeah, where would you put it in the A's?
Uh,
Top of the A's?
yeah, because I like it more than those ones, honestly.
Yeah. Again, for me, it's not quite an S. I just have said it before. Same thing with like Ocarina. There's just some 64, just the 64 in general, not one of my favorite series. I just do not really care for the controller with the weird thing where you'd have to have like 3 hands to play it. I do not care for the visuals. I think that just the 3D polygons and everything are just very janky. So it's one of those things where, again, was Super Mario 64 iconic?
Yes.
Did it change the landscape of gaming?
Yes.
Is it a fun game to play?
Yes.
All these things, yes, but it's not quite an S tier. It's not quite one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's an A tier, and I have replayed it a few times, and I do think it's an incredible game, but S for me is like favorites, and it's not quite favorite.
Yeah.
It's like right at the threshold. It barely misses out, honestly. It's just one of those things where like I like it, but again, just it did beat a 64 game, some of that jankiness, some of the thing about like the having how you save, how you navigate through some of the stuff, having to exit the levels. There's just a few things that rub me the wrong way.
And then like some of like for being like, obviously it was an early game, but like even the people who made the game kind of said it felt kind of weird when you compare it to future entries, like the way they innovated stuff, even when they had very limited resources. Like if you think about like the worlds in 64, they're kind of just repetitive depending on like the missions. And then, like, if you turn off the music and you kind of just explore, some worlds don't really have anything going on. It's just kind of there. Like, it's just kind of exists. And so it just kind of feels like, I don't know, I prefer a lot more future entries, and even, like, the past entries more, because I feel like there's more going on as well.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, I'm sure it's gonna be sacrilege to a lot of people. For some people, this is, like, their top. It's the go. They never shut up about it, that sort of thing. But like same thing as Ocarina. It's just one of those things where I recognize that it's good, and not to say I don't like it, but it's not quite a favorite for mine. It's not quite the top for me personally. It's just there's the games in the S. I'd rather play those than 64. I'm sorry, that's just the way it works for me personally. But hey, it's still top of A so far. So
Yeah.
And this is probably gonna make us sound like hypocrites. What do you think of Super Mario Sunshine?
Oh, I love Sunshine.
And that's the thing. Some of the issues we said for 64, like the levels being weird and repetitive, and like the fact that it kicks you out and stuff. Sunshine also has them, but I still prefer Sunshine. I'm sorry.
I still feel like Sunshine does stuff better though. Like even that, like we just mentioned, where it feels like everything feels right though. Like for me at least, it feels more right.
I know, like I said, it's so funny. Like I don't know how to explain it. It makes it sound like a hypocrite, but I like Sunshine more. Like it's
like everything more Sunshine. Yeah,
it's just the aesthetic, the motif of island and cleaning and the moves you can do. Which again, in 64, there's a lot of great traversal, but the ones in Sunshine just feel more intuitive. I just feel like I have more fun with them, and like the story going on, and like. I don't know. I just like Sunshine a little more. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. I'm sorry. And I would put it like right in the middle of the S's. What about you?
Oh, yeah. I would leave it there, honestly.
Yeah. I still think World I like a little bit more at this point, but Sunshine is like right there. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's just one of those things. A lot of people just, they don't care for Sunshine. They think that the traversal is weird, blah, blah, blah. For me, I don't know. I just really like everything about it. I can recognize there's some flaws though. There's some levels that are super weird. There is a bit of repetitiveness to it. There is some issues. I'm not gonna act like there isn't.
But we love Sunshine.
but I just really like it, personally. I just replayability. I don't know. So for me, that's where I put it.
Yeah, me, I'm like, we love Sunshine's repetitiveness stuff.
Oh my god, right? Okay, what about this one? New Super Mario Bros, which is the one for the DS.
I like this one, and I would like give it like honestly like I like it and all, but I feel like it's like a B.
Yeah, I'm also thinking B, maybe even C.
Like I don't know. I don't think a lot of people don't really get it, but it's just kind of like Super Mario 64 DS mixed with like Mario Bros. 1.
Yeah, I guess like B's fine. I don't know. For me, it's like B, maybe and C. Like, for me, it's just so average. You know what I mean? It's just so average for me. There's not really anything special about it. The only thing that's kind of memorable is like, oh, you could turn two things. One, the fact you could turn like giant
That's
and like
for sure.
stomp through the level, but then that didn't really add much. It's just like felt like very gimmicky, but at least it was memorable. And two, that at the beginning you straight up murder Bowser and he turns into like dry Bowser.
Oh, that was crazy. And then they show him like get resurrected near the end, which kind of confirms how he comes back.
Yeah. But besides that, the game itself, there's not really anything special about it, honestly. It's very average to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You're thinking B?
Yeah, like low B.
Yeah, because I would say maybe C. But if you're saying low B, I'm fine with leaving it at B. It's a fine game, but it's one of the I've never really gone back to replay it, honestly.
Yeah.
Just like here and there, never even like the whole way. I don't know. It's fine, but there's not really anything special to me. Like, it's not one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
But it's fine, I guess. Low B, whatever. I guess.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
I'm leaving for a very special game that's about to show up like very soon. So that's another reason why too.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
What about Super Mario Galaxy?
Oh, I love Galaxy.
Oh man, I don't even know if I would put that at the top of S, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might even be top S for me at this, Galaxy.
I love Galaxy a lot.
It's special, man. That game is just like, okay, think about everything we've talked about that we liked in the other ones, right? Music, aesthetic, movement, traversal, gameplay, all that stuff, right? But then it's just like so innovative, like all of the space stuff and all of like the gravity stuff, all of the power-ups,
the plot.
And then that's what I was about to get to. And then it has something that a lot of the Mario games don't even have, which is a plot. Yeah. And even though it's like very simple, the execution of it is just so well done. Where yes, Peach gets stolen as always, but it just feels very large scale because it's like you're literally going across the universe basically to save her. You're literally going to like all these different galaxies. You're going everywhere to get her back. And Rosalina elevates the game so much too. Rosalina, like the moment she showed up, she became like, they started putting her in like everything because she's such a special character with the whole Rosalina's storybook and her backstory, and how sad it is, and how cool she is as this mysterious character, and how powerful she is, and how like she's just so cool, man. She's such a cool freaking character. Like she's like freaking like badass and powerful and like motherly and like I don't know, man. Huh?
She a baddie.
And she a baddie, right?
Yeah.
And, like she's like, I don't know, she's just so cool. And like the way she's there to like help you. And she adds so much to it too. At least I feel like the fact that she's there as like your companion, sort of mentor character.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And the fact that she's always like saying, like, oh, I'm going to help you get your like special one. Like the fact that she uses those terms too. Again, it really makes there feel like there's this connection between Mario and Peach, right? Like it makes it feel very large stakes and like you're a special one. And you're like going to go get Peach and there's just so much that's done so right. And it has this replayability and like this like sense of fun, and it's just a special game, man. Like for me right now, out of all these, probably my favorite, top of the S's so far. Love this game. Oh man, it's incredible. And yeah, for me, top of the S's, dude. It's just
I remember how the final boss was.
Oh man, its final boss is so good.
That was crazy.
And then like the whole thing about like the universe collapsing and
wiped. That was crazy.
It's just so good, dude. It's such a good game. And then man, I could just go on about this game for like
Yeah.
ever. It's one of my favorites. I think it's so special, man. Everything about it,
Yeah.
gameplay, power-ups,
replay it a lot.
plot, replayability, and just everything about it's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Which is
it's
kind of a
it's
shame that the next one. Well, I mean, I'll let you. What were you gonna say?
yeah, I've replayed it so many times. Like I think like along with World, Sunshine, like World, Sunshine, 64 I kind of replayed, but that's mostly like speed running kind of stuff. I don't really count it as like me trying to enjoy it.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's separating, you know what I mean? Like two categories. I've played Galaxy probably like the most. Like I've replayed it the most, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's so cool, man. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
It's so special. It's so awesome. Which I was gonna say, it's kind of a shame that we come to these. I'm just gonna say it now. These next two. This next one for sure. New Super Mario Bros. Wii. After the creativity of Galaxy. Okay, I mean, not that. Okay. New Super Mario Bros. Wii isn't bad. I get it. They wanted to give us a 4-player 2D experience, right? And it's not bad. It is fun, but it just feels, again, kind of like New Super Mario Bros. The DS one. It just feels so standard, so safe, which is what a lot of people complain about. Which is when we get to like an entry later on, people are so happy that like we're going in a different direction, because this is like an era of very safe Mario games. So I don't know, what would you give it?
I would give it a C.
Yeah, I would probably agree with like C, maybe low B. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with it. We're not saying it's a failing grade, but it's just a very average game.
Yeah.
It's one that I don't really go back and like replay it, because it's like,
yeah,
it just feels like any other Mario game. Like there's not really anything special about it. Like, again, you ride Yoshi's. Okay, you do it in a lot of games. The power-ups are a lot of power-ups you have in almost any game. The thing that's kind of special, I guess, is like the little propeller suit.
Yeah.
But like even then, it's not like that. Like, oh my god, I love using the propeller suit. It's just, it's fine. So I would agree. I would say C. It's just very middle of the road, very average, not really anything special to it, honestly. I don't know. I just put it in C.
That's what I was waiting for. I was just waiting for to put it in C.
I mean, would you still leave the DS one as a B, or would you put it as a C?
I think the DS version is a bit better, though.
Yeah, because like you said, at least it has like the memorability, it's memorable because of the stuff we mentioned, at least, right?
Yeah.
And I guess, you're right. I would still leave it low B. I guess I can see what you mean.
I feel like
they're very similar
too.
Yeah, they're very similar, but this one just like edges it out a little bit. You're right, compared to this one. Yeah,
like everything in the DS one's a bit more fun, honestly, too.
Yeah, I can see that. Then this next one's also pretty heartbreaking. After Galaxy being so special, we get one that's just so average, so safe, and then we come to Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy 2, again, I wouldn't say there's really a bad Mario game. They're all fun in their own way. They all have some, good stuff going on. Like Mario Galaxy 2, okay, you get to team up with Yoshi. I feel like, the levels, new levels, and, I don't know, like, it's fun, right? But it just feels like such a downgrade after Galaxy. Galaxy was so special, and it was so cool having like this little like plot that felt so high stakes, and the whole thing with Rosalina. And then you get Galaxy 2, that it doesn't even make sense.
Oh yeah, continuity is crazy in this one.
Like Rosalina's gone, continuity just goes out the window, where we're celebrating the festival again, and then like it's a rehash of 2. I mean, the 2 is just a rehash of 1. It feels, and they even said that they had some leftover ideas for like worlds and levels and all sorts of like mechanics and stuff. So it feels like an expansion, but they call it its own game while throwing Rosalina out and all the continuity. Like, it's such, and then the reason it happened too always pisses me off. Where it's like, because Miyamoto always hates story, and so he said, screw story. This time we're gonna do things, my way. And he made this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That really sours it on me. That sours me on it too. So like, I just don't know, man. Like, where would you put this one?
Uh, I don't know. Like C again?
Yeah, I'd probably put it at C. And the bad thing is, if it wasn't for like all the Miyamoto stuff, I think it probably would be B. But a lot of that just really sours it for me, which I know maybe isn't fair to the game. So I'm kind of, but it's just, you put all those together and it like really sours it for me. And it's just one of those things where I don't even like feel like playing it. And like,
Yeah, I barely ever played Galaxy 2. I barely ever.
which is
And
like a
then
shame because like it's not bad again, but it should have just been like an expansion for the first one. It should have just been like a DLC or something.
no,
Like,
and that's what's funny because this literally when it was in development after they had rehashed, after they tried to split up like the final version of Galaxy with these scrapped ideas. I think they even said they just wanted to make a DLC like expansion disc thingy, and they were like, no, let's just make a sequel. So then
yeah,
yeah.
and so like a lot of stuff, like I said, maybe it isn't even fair to the game because we're bringing in a lot of outside stuff, outside knowledge, outside stuff, about Miyamoto and stuff. But I just feel like I can't remove all of that from the enjoyment for me. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just the C. And even the traversal of like how you get to levels is just so boring. The first one had so much charm with the, oh, you're in the observatory and you're, flying to like these different, galaxies because of the different, areas and the different parts of the observatory, the different, rooms and stuff. And this one's just say, oh yeah, you're on some ship with some random ass Luma that it doesn't even really make sense because he's like not like any of the other Lumas. And he's kind of like weird, and it's like, oh yeah, and then you just like, oh, you're on a map that looks like any other map, like in like think of like Mario Bros 3, right? It feels like that, and then you just literally click on the level and that's it.
Yeah.
And, like, it takes away a lot of that charm and aesthetic too, you know what I mean? Like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's fair to put at C, but that's where I'm gonna put it. Personally, that it's just so average to me, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, it's probably going to be kind of controversial because I know a lot of people like it. And they're like, oh my God, but the levels are so fun and so many cool new ideas. But for me, it's a C. That's where I put it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Moving on. Super Mario 3D Land, which is for the, 3DS. Where do you put this one?
Like, A.
Where in the A's?
Okay, I will be honest. I don't see it as being very high, but I would put it at least after Mario Bros. 3.
I guess I could see that. Because it is definitely better than these, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, because it is a very fun game. The Tanuki suit's really cool. The levels are like very creative. A lot of cool mechanics and stuff. I could see that. It's a pretty good game. I really like it. And it's not like the top, but I could see it being like kind of in the middle. I could agree with that. I agree with that. It does a lot of really cool stuff, honestly. Really enjoy it. The 3D in this one actually, compared to a lot of 3DS games that like the 3D just didn't really hit for me.
This one works.
It works pretty well in this one, honestly. So
yeah.
See that. I could agree. I think an A is pretty good for that one. Okay. I could put it there. I could live with that. I think it's pretty cool. All right, not bad, not bad.
Let's go.
What about the next one? The next one's kind of a weird one. New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Either B or low A.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of it B or low A.
Because I definitely think this one's a improvement over Wii and Bros 1.
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting with the whole, coin gimmick. And again, it kind of plays a lot like 3D Land, where it has like really interesting mechanics and power-ups and stuff.
I thought this one was more fun, honestly. The power-ups and even for being a generic Mario quote-unquote plot where it's the same thing, it still was a lot better and it was pretty fun.
I think I would put it a little below 3D Land, maybe. Yeah, maybe
I enjoyed 3D Land a bit more.
Yeah, just because of originality. Maybe this one, is a little below 3D Land, but they're like pretty together, honestly, for me. They're both pretty good, pretty fun. Power-ups are cool, levels are cool, their gimmicks, are cool. I'd probably put it around here. I thought it was pretty cool, honestly. It's that's probably where I'd put it. Yeah, that's probably where I'd put it.
Yeah.
So okay. What about Super Mario Bros? It also has new at the beginning, huh? It's new.
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. U. This is the one for the Wii U.
I've never played this one actually, and
really,
from what I've seen, it seemed kind of boring to me.
Again, this is what we were talking about before. It's that unfortunately the new, if it has like new in front of it, these new ones, except for maybe new Super Mario Bros. 2. Although it probably helped that it had like the whole gimmick with the money and stuff.
Yeah.
And being a handheld, I guess. But yeah, a lot of these ones that have like the new in the title, they're just so safe and so generic. It's so like, you know?
Yeah.
I did play it, and I thought it definitely is better than, you know, Mario Bros. Wii or new Super Mario Bros. For like the DS. It's definitely better than those. But yeah, it's just not really interesting. It's just like, oh, I feel like they were relying too much on the, oh, it's going to be so cool because you have the pad and, you know, multiplayer and like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where to put this one because you haven't like really played it or like at all. I did play it and just thought it was fine. Try to think. I don't know. Maybe like right here, honestly. If it wasn't for the fact that new Super Mario Bros. For the DS is more memorable, it would probably be ahead of it. But just again, new Super Mario Bros. Is a little more memorable with some of the stuff. Because this one I don't even remember anything about it, honestly. So I'd probably put it in B.
Alrighty.
Because it's definitely better than this one. Maybe even better than this one. You know, new Super Mario Bros. But for the DS. But it's less memorable. So maybe at the bottom of the B's, maybe. Something like that, I guess. Yeah.
Alrighty.
It's weird. I want to put it between B and C, but there is no between, right? So I guess low B. I don't know. If I change my mind later, I can maybe move it down. But for now, like low B. Moving on. Super Mario 3D World.
Oh, I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I'd probably put it. It's like, where do you think? Like A?
Like a high A.
Like below 64?
I don't know. I like 3D World better than 64.
Yeah,
honestly.
Me too, honestly. I'd probably put it at the top of the A's. Because again, it's not perfect, but it's really fun. Which is, again, kind of funny because we're talking about the new Super Mario Bros. Ones, right? How like they're a little safe and like this one's, I don't know. It's just, this one just works. I guess the fact that it's 3D, the fact that the power-ups here are really fun, like the cat suit and the duplication, the multi-cherry, duplication cherry, whatever it's called. Yeah, this was just a lot of fun. And I like the character selection. Again, you get to play as Peach. You get to play as Rosalina as unlockable. I don't know. Yeah, for me it's A. Yeah, the Toads, Mario, Luigi, etc. For me, it's an A. It's just, I think it has like some replayability. I think it's fun. I think the story is really cool. Where I think it's more unique. Where it's like, oh, you play as your usual 4 characters. And this time Peach is not getting kidnapped. It's because Bowser, he's stealing these fairies in this other world, and you have to like save them. And at least it's like a different world, a different environment, different kingdom, different power-ups, different plot. I'd say it's A, pretty high A for me. I really like it. That's probably where I would put it. It's not perfect, but I'd say like an A. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Cool. What about Super Mario Maker?
I like Maker a lot. I would say like an A as well.
Where in the A's?
Okay, I'll be honest. Like I like it a lot, but it would probably be like either like after Mario Bros. 1. Not like the one like in between Mario Bros. 2, like new Super Mario Bros. 2 and Mario Bros. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like right there.
I could see that. Maybe that's better than these right here because they're kind of outdated. Maybe there's not so much to them, and like I can see what you mean, but it's still just a like creation sim thing, right?
Yeah.
But it is a very fun creation sim, so I could see that being a worthy spot for it. I can agree with that. Yeah, I can agree with that. It's probably one of the better games for the Wii U, honestly. So, all right, pretty cool, pretty cool. Super Mario Bros. Run, the only mobile game we have on here, but still considered very important. I mean, I remember that's why we included it, even though it's kind of like a weird one, because it's still very important, and it was like a big deal for Nintendo, so we'll count it. So,
okay, so I played a bit of this, but I wouldn't count it because it was only maybe like the first level, and then it started asking me for like transactions. I would say haven't played.
So for you, haven't played. For me, I did play it a bit more. I did. I feel like I did play. I played enough that I would say it counts as having played it. I probably put it as a D.
Yeah, I think, and then it's like a new Super Mario Bros. Game. Like technically speaking, like it has the same models, music, environments. Like plot is very safe. I would say it's like a new Super Mario type game.
But worse, because mobile and transactions and mechanics they can't even really control and stuff. I'd say D. I think D is a good spot for it.
Yeah.
Out of all the Mario games, if we're gonna count this as like a mainline title, it's easily the worst one. At least out of what we played, because you never know. Maybe the Virtual Boy one is worse, right? But at least out of the ones I've played, I would easily say is the worst one. It's like the most nothing burger, you know?
Yeah.
So, not surprising, right? All right, next up, a very interesting one, Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, I like Odyssey a lot. Like either high A or low ass.
Yeah, I think it's worthy of an ass.
Yeah.
But would it be above Mario Bros. 2?
Yeah.
But not Sunshine.
I still prefer Sunshine a lot more.
Weirdly enough, right? I can agree. So it's better than Mario Bros. 2. And it's an ass. It's one of my favorites. And I love a lot of things about it. I love the gameplay. I love the companion. I think Cappy's pretty fun. I love the music. I love the environments. I love the power-ups. I love the whole stealing mechanic. I love the music. I love the worlds. I love the plot. The whole thing about, Bowser looking fly as AF, stealing Peach, wearing his, tuxedo and stuff, fighting Mario. I love the Brutals. I'm really disappointed. Cool. I'm really disappointed they might not come back. I'm afraid they might not.
They probably won't, unfortunately.
Which really sucks, because I really like the Brutals. I think they're really cool. Harriet, I simp for Harriet.
Oh my god, bro.
I simp for Harriet. Cute bunny girl with the little, whatever. I'm not going to go there. But, she's cool. I really like this game. I think it's really cool. Not as much as these, other three that are there right now, but I really like it. I think, S for me. So there you go. And I love the costumes, by the way. Oh man, all the costumes you get are so cool.
Oh, that's so cool, yeah.
It's probably one of the best parts of the game, man. All the costumes and stuff, so cool. And the ending sequence. The ending sequence is great.
Oh, that ending sequence is awesome.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Pretty good. So yeah, S tier for sure. Not top, but it's still deserving of being S tier, so yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what about Super Mario Maker 2?
Same thing, it would be like an A. I don't really think it's a downgrade. I think it is better. But again, it would be kind of slightly better. I would just put it kind of like how we put it between New Super Mario Bros. 2 and Mario Bros. 1, but you would put after Mario Maker, you would put 2, like between Bros 2 and Maker.
All right, so you think it's a little better than the original?
Yeah, a little bit better, yeah.
I don't know. I honestly kind of think the original was actually a bit better. I just feel like it felt like it had more somehow. I don't know. But if that's how you say it, I could take, I'm fine with leaving it there. I don't really care either way. I'm not going to be like, no, it definitely deserves to be, a little bit below the first one. Personally, I think the first one's better. But if you say you think the second one is better, I'll go with it. I don't mind. But personally, though, I do think the first one was a bit better somehow. It felt like it had more going on. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like a lot
Yeah.
of people have said that too, that they thought the first one was just like a little bit better. But if you personally think that 2 is a bit better, and since I don't really mind either way, I'm
Yeah.
fine with leaving it there. It's whatever,
Alrighty.
to split the difference. But I honestly think the first one's a bit better. I don't know. It's just, I don't know why. I just feel like I had more going on somehow. I don't know. But that's fine.
Alrighty.
But yeah, I definitely think it's A tier. I think for being just these little creation sims, they're really well done and really fun, and all like the levels that people made, playing through them, blah, blah. I think they're pretty cool games for what they are, so. All right, next one. This is kind of a weird one. Because technically, it is not its own game. It is part of the re-release of Super Mario 3D World for the Switch, but it is like its own game in the sense that it's like on the title screen as a separate mode. And a lot of people do consider it like a separate game, so we're gonna count it as a separate game, right? What do you think of Bowser's Fury?
I like it a lot. Like the other ones I've liked.
Such a weird title.
But it's weird though. And it has a weird mechanic that can be kind of difficult to deal with.
Yeah, like it's really interesting. It's very like they very much took a chance with this. They're trying some new things out that are very like, wow, I commend them for like what they're doing. I don't know where to put it, honestly. You know where I would put it? I think I would put it in A tier. Maybe after Mario Bros. 3?
After Mario Bros. 3?
I think so. I don't know. It's such a weird title. I don't really know where to put it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's not even a full game.
It's only like 3 hours long if you put dedication into it.
Yeah, so it's not even a full game. And it is so strange. But it is really fun. And it has some really cool mechanics. And, I just don't know. It's just such a weird one. I don't know where I would put it, honestly. But it is really well done, though. Damn, where do we put this one?
I like it a bit more than 64 still.
Really, that high for you?
Yeah.
Because I had said after 3, right?
Yeah.
You say after 60, before 64. Damn, this is a weird one, dude. I don't know where to put this one.
Let's just put it between 64 and 3.
That's kind of splitting the difference, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't really know where to put it either, so I would just say... Like,
but it's definitely worthy of A, because it's really well done. Very interesting. Very, like it's commendable. Interesting music, interesting, fight against Bowser and all that. Very cool. Sure, I guess that's fine. It's just a weird one. If I could add a tier, I'd probably put it in like, I don't know where the hell to put it, but we'll just put it there. Again, it's whatever. It's not like to take this so seriously anyway. That's fine, I guess. Just pretty high A, I guess. Yeah, why not? Yeah, this is probably the one that stumps me the most. I have no idea where to put this one, but right there's fine, I guess. Yeah. It's such a weird title. I really wonder if they're gonna build off of this for their next title.
Maybe?
Because it'd be weird if this was just like a one and done where they never like
especially
implement
a lot of
anything.
people liked it.
Yeah, it would be so weird if they don't implement any of this in the future. I think they will. I could see them using some of these ideas for like a big, like open world sandbox sort of thing, but it's still like each little area has its own like mechanics and its own collectibles and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope they at least do something based on these ideas because it's really well done. It's super interesting. So it'd be a shame if this is like a one and done where it's like, no, we were just trying something new and we never like capitalized on it. So I hope we see more of this weirdness return in the future. So,
Yeah.
All right. And finally, last but not least, the last game that's come out, Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
I do think this one's an S tier, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
That one's definitely an S tier to me, yeah.
Oh man, where do we put it though?
And it's weird because for me, I feel like World and Wonder are kind of even because I kind of like them, and I feel like Wonder radiates the exact same energy as kind of like World. Like it has that same vibe. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because okay, out of again, this is what we were talking about earlier. It feels like it finally broke the curse that the new Super
Games
Mario
have.
Bros. Yeah, these new ones were so safe. Nothing was happening. The animations were just so stiff and boring, and like environments were just very whatever and like very like by the numbers. And this one feels like it just really went a different direction, different art style, new animations for like when they're like going through the pipes and all this stuff. Crazy out there levels with the mechanics and the environment and just everything, right? It feels like they really just, reinvented the wheel with this one. It's not special as Galaxy though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe like below Galaxy?
Yeah, I would say like below Galaxy.
And the other problem too is they just came out. So it's one of those things where I feel like I need to like sit on it some more too.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's one of those things where like, thinking about it, it goes below, World, it goes below, Sunshine. That's the thing that it is too new to like say right now. But right now, I'm okay with putting it under Galaxy. But yeah, it's just one of those things. The bad thing is it's so new too that it would be one of those things where it would need time to see. Do I keep returning to it? Do I keep replaying it? Does it still hold up for me? Do I still love it? Stuff like that. But right now I'm fine with putting it in second place. But I am curious if I would still feel like this, like 5 years from now, after the next, 3D Mario comes out. Would I still have it here? Not too sure. But for now, I'm fine with putting it here because I think it's a really good game. It's really fun. I feel like it's trying to reinvent like the wheel with a lot of things. And replayable Daisy's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, just so much really cool stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm fine with putting it in second place. I still think that Galaxy is like the GOAT for me, right? But this one is pretty high up there, for having just come out. It feels like it really does a lot of stuff right, and it definitely earns its place very close to the top for me. So all right, so there you have it, guys. So our list in the S tier, which is our best of the best favorites, stuff that we think are very special and we would replay or have replayed many times. First game, the GOAT, is Super Mario Galaxy. Then, for now, like I said, maybe time will tell, but we have Super Mario Bros. Wonder, then Super Mario World, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Odyssey, and Super Mario Bros. 2, the, USA version. Then A tier, which are games that we think are very well done, but maybe not, our favorites. Maybe not, games that we will replay if we have the opportunity, the chance, that sort of thing. We have Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario 64, Bowser's Fury, which is probably our most contested one. We're kind of like iffy about that one. Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario 3D Land, New Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Maker 2, followed by Super Mario Maker the original, Mario Bros. The, NES classic, Mario Bros., which is the one for, the arcade, and finally, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. Then in B tier, games that we think are fine, but they're just kind of average, I guess, right? We have the original Super Mario Land, New Super Mario Bros., and New Super Mario Bros. U. Then in C, which is the ones that we consider very average, that, I don't know, we had our reasons for why we put them here. We have Super Mario Galaxy 2 and New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Then in D, which is the ones we would maybe consider bad or just unremarkable, right? We would probably have never really replayed them. Like we just don't really care for them. Is Super Mario 2, which is, the Lost Levels, and Super Mario Run, which is the only,
Mobile
phone one. Mobile, yeah. And then finally, and have not played, Mario Clash, which is the one for the Virtual Boy, which probably nobody has really played it, so no surprise there. So there you have it, guys. That is our tier list. That's personally where we rank these games. Again, that's just our opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's fine. But let us know in the comments below, you know, if you're listening to this, where you would rank these, but be respectful again. If we don't agree, that's fine. Everyone has their opinions. This is just what we put them, but I would be curious how you would rank them, you know. And that is basically it. There you go. That is another tier list out of the way. So yeah, and as I said, for Mario, I'm not sure if that's the next tier list we're gonna do in our Mario one, but there is definitely more Mario content because we have RPGs, Mario Kart, a bunch of spin-offs, that sort of thing. So in the future, expect more tier list, expect more Mario series tier list. But for now, this is our Mario mainline title tier list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If so, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you, Legend Jonathan, for being here.
You're very welcome, man. This was very fun.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next time with more content on the channel. So we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.